John's next project would be the 1975 film Dog Day Afternoon, directed by Sidney Lumet and once again starring Al Pacino. Dog Day Afternoon is based loosely around a real 1972 bank robbery that happened in Brooklyn, New York. Pacino was pegged to star as the lead, bank robber Sonny Wartzik. He petitioned Sidney Lumet to read John for the role of his accomplice, Sal Naturale, even though John was 20 years older than his real-life counterpart. John is in nearly every scene of Dog Day Afternoon, and while Sal is a quiet and closed-off character, his presence looms large over the whole film. Part of that is due to the distinct look John adopted for the role of Sal. He looks more gaunt, his eyes more sunken. Most notable is his long hair and receding hairline. He wears a red suit and clings to a machine gun for much of the movie. John manages to portray an array of emotions through Sal. Sal is emotionally unstable and seems to flip from calm to calculated to manic and insecure in a second. Sal starts out in control, but as the bank robbery falls apart, so does Sal's front.
I'll get some water.
Stay right there!
Don't do it!
John colors Sal with contradictions. His body language often belies his threats and harsh words. This is particularly true of a scene where Sal asks Sonny if he was serious about killing hostages.
Were you serious about what you said?
About what?
About throwing those bodies out the door.
John's voice quivers. He's upset and nervous.
Well, that's what I want, and that's what I want him to think.
I don't know what you think. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm ready to do it.
Right. Okay. I know.
He tells Sonny he's ready to do it, but you don't quite know if he's being truthful or just trying to impress Sonny. As the hostage situation continues to go south, you can see John's body deflate. Before, he was standing tall, making himself appear bigger. Now he starts to slouch and his hair gets messier. His eyes become more and more intense. Sonny and Sal's relationship is kind of a mystery. You get the impression they don't really know each other very well. Sal has put his trust in Sonny, and when Sonny starts to waver from their plan, Sal's temper flares.
I don't know about that guy out there, but if I get the FBI involved in this, they might deal. What do you think?
John whispers quietly.
Sal,
No!
He slams the butt of the gun down in anger, grabbing Sonny's attention. His voice is a mix of fear and anger as he reminds Sonny of their promise to each other.
You made me a promise, didn't you? Did you promise me something, huh?
Yeah.
Did you say either we get away clean or we kill ourselves? Did you say that?
But I'm not talking.
Did you?
I'm not talking
Do you
about
not?
that. I do
Do
believe.
you believe in keeping your promises? Huh?
Yeah, but I'm not
Then does
talking.
it still go?
Yeah, still goes.
Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Huh?
I'm trying to.
I ain't going back to that prison, Sonny.
Sal refuses to go back to prison. I think John reveals a significant amount of subtext here, and later in the film when he gets upset when the news refers to him as a homosexual.
Sonny, they said on the TV 2 homosexuals in the bank, right on TV. Did you hear what they said?
What difference does it make? It don't matter. They're gonna say anything they want. Let them say.
Well, I'm not a homosexual. You tell them to get that right. Now, that's going out on the TV.
This leads you to wonder if Sal was maybe abused in prison, if things in his life have made him insecure or question his sexuality as to be so offended by this mistake. In his next scene, John shows how adept he is at mixing sadness and humor. Sonny has set up a plan with the FBI to get a jet to fly them out of the country. Sonny asks Sal if there's anyone he wants to call before they leave.
If we leave the country, there's no coming back here. You know what I mean? There's no coming back. So that if there's anybody now that you want to talk to, you want to say goodbye to, do it now.
John looks intently at Al as he speaks. He thinks momentarily. He hesitates before answering like he's thought of someone and then decided against it. He answers with a faint and simple no. Then Sonny asks him if there's any special country he would like to go to.
Is there any special country you want to go to?
Sal thinks again and answers,
Wyoming.
John says the line completely straight.
No, Wyoming. This is not a country. That's all right. I'm going to take care of it.
It's a funny line, but John says it completely straight, making you feel sorry for his dim and troubled character. In an odd scene that follows, we find Sonny, Sal, and the hostages bonding during a lull in the standoff. Sonny teaches one of the bank tellers a military gun drill, while Sal drinks soda and eats pizza with a few of the others. Sylvia, the head teller, asks for a cigarette, and Sal criticizes her.
Anybody got a cigarette?
Yeah, I do. Sylvia, you don't smoke.
You don't smoke?
No,
Why do you want to start now?
I'm scared to death, that's why. What, you don't smoke?
No.
How come?
John is quiet and timid in his responses, creating a sense of embarrassment.
I don't want the cancer.
Oh my God. Give me the cigarette.
Go ahead, do what you want. I just think you ought to take care of your body, that's all.
My body? What for?
Your body is the temple of the Lord.
Is Sal religious? John delivers the line with uncertainty,
You're serious?
like he's been criticized for his views before.
So you rob a bank, but you keep your body pure. Is that it?
It adds to the complexity of Sal.
You gonna smoke the cigarette or what?
Yes. If I die of cancer, it'll be half your fault.
No, it's because you're weak.
In his book, A Small Perfection, John Joe Powers describes John's performance in Dog Day Afternoon as a study in stillness. John's stillness becomes an unnerving presence, especially when viewed next to Pacino's frantic performance as Sonny. John's quietness adds to the suspense of the film, especially towards the climax. The viewer isn't sure what to expect from Sal through the whole movie. In Dog Day Afternoon, John proves that sometimes stillness and a subtle delivery can lead to an effective performance. John's last role before he succumbed to cancer was that of Stosh in Michael Cimino's The Deer Hunter. Cimino wanted John in his movie so badly that he hid his cancer diagnosis from the studio. When the studio threatened to shut down the production unless John was fired, the cast, including his partner Meryl Streep, threatened to walk. Robert De Niro wanted to work with him so much that he paid for the film to insure him. The Deer Hunter follows a group of friends who work together as steel workers in a small industrial town in Pennsylvania. The film examines the way the Vietnam War disrupts and changes their lives. The film follows a distinct three-act structure. The first act revolves around the wedding of Steve and Angela and a hunting trip that follows. The second act follows three of the friends, De Niro's Mike, Christopher Walken's Nick, and John Savage's newly married Steve, during their harrowing experiences in Vietnam. The third act follows Mike as he returns home and tries to pick up the pieces in a very different world. John's character Stosh is only featured in the first and third acts, as his character doesn't fight in the war, which I think is one of the biggest influences in John's performance. Stosh is loud and obnoxious. He cares about his appearance and what others think of him. He wants to be the leader, a tough guy. He carries a pistol around, just in case. What does it mean for a guy like that to stay home, while all of his friends go off and fight in the war? While Sal was a study in stillness, for Stosh, John's acting is bigger, not to draw attention to the actor, but the character drawing attention to himself. We meet Stosh and the rest of the crew as they finish the day at the steel mill. This is one of many times that we see Stosh primping in front of a mirror. His buddies have to drag him away from his own reflection.
Stand! It's no use. Come on, Stosh, you're beautiful now.
Stosh is smaller than the rest of the guys, less classically handsome. He walks with a limp. Is this why he didn't get drafted? As they joke around, John hits and yells over his friends. When they go to the local bar, he doesn't just tell his jokes. John shouts them from the top of a bar stool.
I got $100. Says the Eagles never cross the 50 in the next half. Then the Steelers win by what? 20.
I got an extra 20 if he says the Eagles quarterback wears a dress.
During the wedding reception of his friends Steve and Angela, we see conflicting sides of Stosh's character. We see him joking around, dancing with Mike, anything to be the center of attention. Later, Stosh watches as the band leader dances with his girlfriend. At first, John is almost laughing as Stosh sees the band leader grab his girlfriend's butt. This is the first instance where we see Stosh taking a joke too far.
Only a wedding, Stanley.
What do you mean? It's only a wedding. Okay? Look, he did it again. He just did it. John, I gotta go get my gun out of my coat.
He says he's going to go get his gun. He doesn't. He just storms out and confronts the band leader. Rears back his fists, but instead of hitting the band leader, he hits his girlfriend, knocking her to the floor. After a tussle with his own friends, he helps her back up. John's face shows remorse, maybe a little embarrassment for causing a scene. Stosh kisses her on the cheek where he slapped her seconds ago. Many of John's characters show flashes of both violence and tenderness. After the wedding, the guys go out on a hunting trip. Stosh is still buttoned up in his tuxedo, but has added a fur hat to his ensemble. Here's where John shines as Stosh. As the guys pull off to the side of the road and start unloading their gear, Stosh can't find his boots.
Where the hell's my boots? Anybody see my boots? Somebody took my boots. I bought them special. All right, you guys. Whoever took my boots, I want them back.
I got a boot for you, Stan.
Yeah.
Right up your ass.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike, let me borrow your spares, huh? Your extra pair?
No, Stan.
No? What do you mean, no?
Just what I said, no. No means no.
Some fucking friend. You're some fucking friend, you know that?
Gotta learn, Stanley. Every time you come up here, you got your goddamn head up your ass.
Maybe he likes the view from up there, huh?
Every time he comes up, he's got no knife, he's got no jacket, he's got no pants, he's got no boots. All he's got is that stupid gun he carries around like John Wayne.
Oh, what the hell, Mike? Give him the boots.
No way, I ain't giving him no boots. No more. No more. That's it.
You're a fucking bastard, you know that?
Huh? Stanley, see this? This is this. This ain't something else. This is this. From now on, you're on your own.
I fixed you up 1,000,000 times. I fixed him up 1,000,000 times. I don't know how many times I must have fixed him up with girls. And nothing ever happened. Zero. Hey, you know your trouble, Mike, huh? Nobody ever knows what the fuck you're talking about, huh? This is this. What the hell is that supposed to mean? This is this. I mean, is that some sounding bullshit, or is that some sounding...
Hey, shut up, Stan, will you? Hey, man, you're out of line. Watch out with that gun, Stan.
There's times...
Watch out with the
you know
gun.
what I think? You know what I think? There's times I swear I think you're a fucking...
Hey, come on, you guys.
Last week he could have had that new red-headed waitress at the Bowlodrome. He could have had it knocked, and look what he did. Look what he fucking did. Nothing. That's what.
Shut up, Stan, huh? You just shut up. Just shut up. Take Michael's goddamn boots and shut up. Otherwise, I'm going home. I said no.
What, are you gonna shoot me? Huh? Here.
John is so good in this scene. First, he pulls out the gun when the joking goes too far. Stosh's manhood feels threatened, so he tries to belittle Mike by throwing around slurs and insinuating that he's gay. Everything about this scene reinforces the idea that Stosh is a little man trying to appear big. When he knows he's been beat, he stops talking and sulks off. After the hunting trip, the guys head back to the bar, where the mood takes a somber turn. Stosh is not his usual boisterous self, as the guys sit and listen to one of the guys play the piano. Once again, John shows how adept he is at conveying so much while doing so little. Mike, Nick, and Steve go off to Vietnam, where they are captured by the Viet Cong and tortured and forced to play Russian roulette. Stosh stays home. We don't see him again until Mike returns home. Nothing is the same, though. Nick is missing in Vietnam. Steve came back but is confined to a wheelchair, refusing to see anyone. We don't really get an idea of how things have been for Stosh. When Mike asks, Stosh just jokes around.
Yeah. Same old thing, you know? Nothing's changed. I'm getting more ass in the toilet seat, and Axel here, he's getting better than ever.
Stosh has grown a mustache, maybe in an attempt to appear more manly.
Why don't you show him that gun?
Mike is disappointed to see that he still carries his gun around like John Wayne.
Watch it.
What's that for?
Same thing the other one was for.
And what was that for? Here's the word.
Ah, forget it. Come on, let's grab a drink.
In one of the few moments of levity in the third act, Mike and Stosh and the group go bowling. Here, Stosh asks Mike what he thinks of his new girlfriend. During the scene, John looks to Mike for approval. He morphs into a little kid, looking up at his big brother.
Is she beautiful? Is she beautiful?
Truth?
Yeah.
No.
Well, do you think she's intelligent?
No.
Neither do I. I don't think she's intelligent either.
Well, what the hell are you seeing her?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm over to ask you. Maybe she's good in bed.
Why'd she ask you?
But it's a tenuous relationship, which we see come to a head on the group's next hunting trip. Once again, the guys are joking around. Stosh is good at giving it to his buddies, but as soon as the jokes are pointed in his direction, he brandishes his revolver and points it at Axel.
What's that stupid little gun doing up here?
In case.
In case. In case of what? In case you stumble on one of your girlfriends sucking on a forest ranger's cock?
You say that one more time. Say it! Come on, say it!
Stanley, you're so full of shit, you're gonna float away.
Try me! Try me! Just say it!
You're
Come
gonna
on!
float away.
Ow!
Mike walks in and throws him to the ground.
Take it easy, Mike.
What the hell was that for? What, you think it was loaded? Give me that! Go.
He removes all but one of the bullets from the gun and points it at his forehead.
Play games? All right, I'll play your fucking games.
John sells the terror in Stosh. John squeezes his eyes tight. He's scared to look at Mike. His voice becomes a squawk.
Hey! Big shot!
No one believes Stosh when he threatens to shoot, but you can tell that Stosh and his friends believe Mike. John's final scenes in The Deer Hunter are pretty haunting. He attends the funeral of his friend Nick. John looks really frail in this scene. His skin is gray, his hair is thinning, as he helps carry his friend's casket out of the cathedral. Months later, John would lose his battle to cancer, not able to see the completion of his final film. According to critic Bruce Fretz, John Cazale was the walking embodiment of the aphorism, acting is reacting, providing the perfect counterbalance to his reoccurring co-stars, the more emotionally volatile Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. With each film he appeared in, it seemed his skills were becoming more honed, his talents more realized. And like with many gifted artists that left us too early, it's hard not to imagine what could have been. With these 5 performances, John Cazale left behind a tremendous body of work and a lasting legacy of his abilities. To hear what his peers have to say about working with John, I highly recommend the documentary I Knew It Was You, Rediscovering John Cazale by director Richard Shepard. I also recommend the book A Small Perfection, John Cazale and the Art of Acting by John Joe Powers. This essay wouldn't have been possible without that book's thorough look at John's life and career.